Swift, Kendrick Lamar, and The Weeknd duked it out for the top 3 categories last night at the Grammy Awards.
However, The Life of Pablo might be causing some controversy for Taylor Swift and Kanye West.
Where we make Kent feel like Hollywood, this is The Blurb.
Was one of the biggest events in music. The 58th Annual Grammy Awards was hosted by LL Cool J for the 5th time. I'm Tyler Almond.
And I'm Zach Jones. And the Grammy goes to Kendrick Lamar for Best Rap Album, Chris Stapleton for Best Country Album, Ed Sheeran with Thinking Out Loud for Song of the Year, Meghan Trainor for Best New Artist, Bruno Mars for Record of the Year, and Taylor Swift for Album of the Year. Swift is the only female artist to take the Grammy's top prize twice. Justin Bieber also won his first Grammy for Best Dance Recording. Taylor Swift and Kendrick Lamar took home the most awards, Swift with 3 and Kendrick with 5.
The Broadway show Hamilton took the Grammy stage by storm. The Hamilton cast performed Alexander Hamilton live from the Richard Rodgers Theater, the musical's home since August 2015. Broadway's first hip-hop musical also won the Grammy for Best Musical Theater Album. Lady Gaga put on a fabulous tribute to the late David Bowie. She embodied his weirdness and put her all into the performance. Lady Gaga may not exactly be the next David Bowie, but if anyone can pull off that big task tribute, it's Gaga. Kendrick Lamar's performance was hands down the best of the night, filled with pyrotechnics and a meaningful message. It had everyone's full attention, even though he didn't win the Album of the Year. In the words of Kendrick, it's gonna be all right, because he won the night with his performance. Everyone will be talking about it for a very long time. Let's head over to the Twitter chat and see what everyone was tweeting during the Grammys last night. What's up, Andrea?
Thanks, Tyler. With a big event like the Grammys comes a lot of social media reaction. One of the most talked about topics on Twitter was T Swift's acceptance speech. Taylor spoke on people trying to take credit for her success, jabbing at Kanye West. Fruit Scoops tweeted, "So I guess it's safe to say that Kanye West was lying about that hour-long approval combo with Taylor Swift." Another topic of discussion was the major sound issues that occurred during some of the performances. The performance that was on top of the list was Adele's. Alexander Gold said the Grammys can be as messy as they want, but not with the sound during Adele. Kendrick Lamar made Twitter go ablaze with his epic performance. Madison Pettis tweeted, "Kendrick just shut it down. Deserves every one of those 11 noms. Congrats, Kendrick, on the great performance and many nominations." Stick around, I'll have more social media stories later in the show. Zach?
Seeing Drake on the sidelines of a basketball game with the coaches is pretty normal. Seeing Kevin Hart, not so much. But both celebrities were on the sidelines as coaches for this year's All-Star Game. Kevin Hart was the coach of USA, and of course Drake was the coach of Canada. Before the game started, Drake received the key to Toronto, and Kevin sure brought his signature comedic sass to the court when he refused to shake Drake's hand. Canada ended up taking the game with a win over USA, with each other in the end, and laughed everything off. Fashion shows and flash fests. Let's see what local entertainment news Shack has.
Thank you, Zach. There are 3 F's in this world that I love: fashion, food, and Flash Fest. First, let's talk fashion. College Town Kent hosted their 2nd annual For the Love of Fashion show. With the help of Alpha Zeta Delta, they raised money and awareness for Autism Speaks. Take a look. The 2nd annual For the Love of Fashion was hosted at the Kent State Hotel, where many local retail venues displayed and modeled their spring collection on the runway. From casual to formal to fully dressed to skimpy, designs and patterns of all sorts were draped by Kent's very own students. Kent State students were so involved that the proceeds went to Alpha Zeta Delta Beta Tau Foundation supporting Autism Speaks. Models showcased styles by spontaneous movements, dabbing in a retro look to sun salutation and yoga wear. Laughter, serenity, food, and music filled the room to create the perfect community occasion. Trend styles and looks were from One Love Yoga Boutique, Gracie Lane, Carnaby Street Style, University Tees and Rush, Dino Palmieri Salon and Spa. Applause illuminated the room as models, managers, directors, and owners gave their wave at the end of the show. Now, on to food. Local restaurants were also there, such as Insomnia Cookies, Bar 145, Kent Fresco Mexican Grill, and Salsa Bar Kent, just to name a few. In other local news, undergraduate student government announced one of the performers yesterday for this year's Flash Fest. Country artist Chase Rice will be one of the performers at Flash Fest this year. USG says there are more artists to be announced, so make sure you keep up with USG and the Blurb for further announcements. Flash Fest will be on April 21st, so follow us on Twitter at TV2 The Blurb. Back to you, Tyler.
Thanks, Shaq. Lamar Odom made his first appearance since his coma at the Yeezy 3 show this past Friday. Lamar sat with the family during the show, sitting right next to Chloe, of course. Guess it was a last-minute decision because his attire did not match the rest of the Kardashian-Jenner's clan. Despite not matching the rest of the fam, Lamar was all smiles the whole time. Glad he's okay. On Friday night, Kanye West finally unveiled his Yeezy 3 clothing line. During his show, Yeezus also premiered his highly anticipated album, The Life of Pablo. He performed some of the songs live while showcasing all of the different pieces at once. Prior to the show, the stage full of models was given a very strict set of rules to follow. Some of the rules include no smile, no fast movements, no slow movements, and do not act cool. Now, who better to talk about Yeezy fashion than our own fashion panel? Runway Rundown joins us now. Kim, Kyle.
Thanks, Tyler. Welcome to our fashion chat on Runway Rundown. I'm your host, Kim Anderson.
And I'm Kyle Dawson. Joining us tonight, we have Alex Taylor and Landon Gerace. We talked a little bit about the best and worst of New York Men's Fashion Week, but alas, with this week being the major New York Fashion Week, you may have guessed it, it's Yeezy season. Yeezy 3 debuted post-apocalyptic feel with spandex bodysuits and oversized coats with an earthy palette. Alex, what do you think?
Okay, I really like the colors. I think they're different. Some of the bodysuits are a little risque, a little odd, but mostly I'm kind of digging it. I like it.
I feel like for Kanye, who's someone who clearly likes to have the intention on himself, I would expect something to be more flashy from like this line in the past too. But I really appreciate the simpleness of it all and like the artistic ability that went into each design. Even though they're so bland, I feel like they really stand out for him. I really like that.
I agree. I like that it's like simple, but then some of the pieces have like the geometric shapes and patterns and stuff on them. Looks really good.
I think that this collection is better than his other two in the past because some of the things from his other two looked like cut-off hoodies that you would find at like Kmart. But anyways, we could not forget about the famous family that Kanye is attached to. Kim and the rest of the Kardashian fam showed up to support Ye and stole the spotlight from the collection. The fam wore different variations of cream and rose-colored clothes with plenty of beading and sparkle. What do you guys think of their looks?
I was very nervous for Courtney to move the whole time. I just didn't know like what was going on under there because it seemed very see-through. But I mean, it all worked out for her. I think it did good. But I don't know. I feel like I was bothered by Kylie's black hat with all the other like light colors going on. But it was okay.
Other than the black hat, I think this is pretty much my closet, dream closet wrapped up in a box. And Baby North, you know, we talked about, looks so cute, so like cute. A little snowball.
Absolutely. Well, that's all we have for now, but stick around because we're talking Grammys when Runway returns. Back to you, Tyler.
Swift and Kanye at it again.
And when we come back, Ashley and Tabor have the latest shade with What Were They Thinking?
Welcome back to The Blurb. Valentine's Day and Kanye West versus T Swift. Andrea has all the details. It's time for Trending Now.
Thanks, Tyler. This Valentine's Day, Rob Dyrdek expressed his hate for Uggs on Instagram. However, when his wife said how much she wanted a pair, he took it to heart. He was extremely generous and bought her a pair in every color. Each one was filled with love, compromise, and roses. Hey, Rob, if you'd like to buy me a pair, or 20, I wouldn't be mad. Well, Kanye West did not make Kim K dinner this Valentine's Day, but he definitely knew how to stir the pot when it came to Taylor Swift. During an unveiling for his new album, The Life of Pablo, Kanye shared a new song, Famous, which references Taylor in the lyrics, saying he made her famous. When Swift's people said he never cleared it with T Swift, Yeezy took it to Twitter for one of his famous rants in over 9 tweets. He told his side of the story. While Kanye took to Twitter to vent about the sitch, Taylor's brother Austin posted a video on Instagram of him throwing his Yeezy trainers into the trash with the caption, "Getting a head start on some spring cleaning. Here we go again. Let's get one thing straight, we've definitely got bad blood now." That's all I have for this Trending Now this week. Be sure to tune in next week, but in the meantime, follow us on Twitter at TV2TheBlurb. Tyler?
Thanks, Andrea. Hashtag baby fever. Sunday, 42-year-old Tyra Banks posted a picture on Instagram of her new baby boy, York Banks Asla, saying, quote, "This is the happiest Valentine's Day of my life. York, Daddy at Eric Asla and I send you so much love." On January 27th, Tyra Banks and her photographer boyfriend, Eric Asla, announced that their first child together has been welcomed into the world. Tyra used a surrogate to carry her child due to her struggle with infertility. Congrats, Tyra, or should I say America's Next Top Mom? So, Zach, do you think the baby will inherit Tyra's modeling skills, or do you think he'll be a photographer like his dad?
Honestly, I'm not too sure. It just depends, I guess, which way the parents kind of push him, you know? Hopefully he could be like a nice model, you know, or taking pictures of him. We'll see what happens. Well, not so sensational for Future. Sierra, his ex-fiance, is suing the rapper for slander and libel. The price tag, $15 million. The I Bet singer says she has several cited instances where Future has slandered her for bad parenting and revealing information about her personal life. The slanders have been on both Twitter and on Interview. Guess Future isn't dancing on diamonds right now. Beyonce has hot sauce in her bag, and everyone is losing their mind. Tabor and Ashley have all the shade with What Were They Thinking?
We have all the shade for this week. This is What Were They Thinking? Girl, Ashley, did you know Beyonce's black?
No.
Well, yes. Queen Bee keeps that hot sauce in her bag.
Swag.
Saturday Night Live did a skit entitled The Day Beyonce Turned Black. It shows white people reacting to Queen Bee's new hit song, Formation. They start going crazy over lyrics and how the singer's songs are usually for them. The city goes crazy with car wrecks and crazy news headlines. I guess they never listen to cuts like Sugar Mama and check on it.
Let's talk about the unexpected friendship between Kirk Franklin and Kanye West. Kanye made a song called Ultra Light Beam featuring Kelly Price, Chance the Rapper, and Kirk Franklin. How random. Kirk Franklin is a gospel singer, so it is kind of weird to see Kanye West and him together. It is not to say that Kanye himself is not religious, but it's interesting me how the two have crossed paths. Kirk took to Instagram to set the record straight for his critics who blasted his work with Kanye. Just to briefly describe his tweet, he said, "To a lot of my Christian family, I'm sorry he's not good enough, Christian enough, or running at your pace. And as I read some of your comments, neither am I. That won't stop me from running. Pray we win. To the haters, we are all works in progress. No one is perfect. We should actually be more accepting of this union. But you know how the world works. Also, many of you need to check your history before judging others." Tabor?
Music producer L.A. Reid sat down for an interview with Wendy Williams to talk about his new book, Sing to Me. They talked about many topics, including how they don't like when legendary artists put out new music. He then threw shade at Janet Jackson with her new album, Unbreakable. Hold up, L.A., let's talk, because I have receipts. Receipt number 1, he worked with Janet on a more recent LP, and it wasn't as successful as L.A.'s favorite album, Control. You sound like a sore loser, and I could stop there, but I'm not, because I have enough receipts to file for my 2015 1040A tax form. It's tax season, by the way, so get y'all's fast in. Receipt number 2, he not only helped Mariah with her first comeback, Emancipation of Mimi, back in 2005, but he turned around and produced E = MC Squared, a flop. Receipt number 3, he helped Lionel Richie with his album, Just Go, and that's just what it did. It went. Unless we forget about receipt number 4, Escape by Michael Jackson. So don't you get on Wendy and act brand new. All right, that's all we have for What Were They Thinking? If you want more shade, tune in to Tea Time with Tabor every Saturday, noon to 2 on blacksquirrelradio.com. Back to you, Zach.
Hello. It's Adele taking over the cover of the March issue of Vogue magazine, with a brand new outlook on life as well. The singer says she's changed her priorities to put her son and herself before work. She's also focused on living a healthier lifestyle and feeling comfortable in her own skin. If the cover's anything to go by, she has every right to be. Keep staying our one and only Adele. Runway Rundown has the best and worst looks from the Grammys.
Nas keeps us updated with the street style and affordable fashion, and Chloe breaks down some Grammy makeup looks. Stay tuned. Don't call it a comeback, but if you thought for 1 second that you wouldn't be able to pull off some of the street styles from Fashion Week in New York, think again. Here are some affordable fashions that will make you look like a top fashion blogger that everyone wants to follow as well. This first outfit I could not stress enough. Denim is always here and always in style. Culottes from Chop Shop, blouse from H&M, Calvin Klein trench coat from Macy's, and black block heel booties from Nordstrom's. This next one is a total blackout. As we know, black can be very slimming and a go-to color for a sophisticated look. The draped high neck blouses from House of Fraser, trousers from John Lewis, pointed toe flats from Mango.com, and glasses from PopMap.com. Well, that's all I have for you guys this week. Follow us at TV2TheBlurb on Instagram and Twitter. Back to you, Kim.
Thanks, Naz. Welcome back to Runway Rundown. The 50th annual Grammys took place last night, and there was no doubt that all eyes were on some of the biggest names in music. We definitely saw some interesting looks, and we have a full recap.
Our first look of the night is Zendaya in a sophisticated D-2 slick black pantsuit with a white button-down underneath. I personally like that she broke the norm of like a ritzy gown on the red carpet. What do you think, Landon?
I feel like if I had to pick someone beforehand to come in a pantsuit, I would definitely pick her. I feel like no one would wear it better than she did last night, and I feel like the hair just really tied it in like all together.
Yeah, I would have loved to see her in a gown just because I think she's so unique and different. I was actually kind of excited to see her in something of like her style, but I guess this pantsuit, you know, it took me by surprise, but if you're gonna wear a pantsuit, she definitely wore it right. She looked great.
I think it was really well designed. However, it still looked kind of bland to me. Like I'm like you. I was hoping to see her in something that was a little bit more upbeat. Well, our next look is Lady Gaga and Marc Jacobs. Mother Monster took to the red carpet in a tribute to David Bowie with his signature red hair and an electric blue gown with beading and embroidery running throughout. What did you think, Alex?
Okay, so the outfit itself, I didn't have a problem with. You know, it's Lady Gaga. Even the shoes, like I was kind of expecting something, you know, astronomical. She's so known for doing stuff like that. But what I did have a problem with was the makeup. Her blue eyes like kind of made her look like a fish, and it was a little freaky, no eyebrows. Caught me by surprise a little bit. So I don't know, this was a little bit Hunger Games-esque, and I wasn't sure about it.
Yeah, I feel like I understand that it was a tribute and that was the whole idea of it, but I feel like her hair and her makeup reminded me so much of what she looked like when she performed at the Super Bowl. And I was kind of disappointed she didn't really change it up. It's been like a week and I'd like to see her in something different. I mean, it was very her. Don't get me wrong.
But it was a bit much with the hair and the like, statement
it was
dress.
Definitely a lot going on.
And at the Grammys, we wear pink. Well, at least Sam Hunt does. The country singer looked as stylish as ever in this pale pink Dolce & Gabbana suit. What are our thoughts on this look?
If I were to walk down the runway, or not the runway, the aisle at my wedding, and well, the same thing. You know, if he were to walk down the runway, he would look great. But if I were to be walking down the aisle and have a perfect man standing at the end, this is what he would be in. I thought he looked so good. He's a newer artist. He definitely made a statement, but it wasn't too loud. He looked great.
Oh, Sam. I feel like you can either do pink very wrong or very right, and he definitely did it very right. I mean, never looks bad to begin with, but the paleness of it definitely made it stand out more than I think a bright color would have. Like, I feel like this was very memorable for him.
Kyle, what did you think of this look?
I loved it. I mean, I think he looked just so good. It was like very like simplistic, and then just like the solid white underneath. I think it looked really good.
Absolutely. Well, last but not least, we have a 2-for-1. Taylor Swift and Altea Versace, and her bestie and date, Selena Gomez and Calvin Klein collection. This was a big night for Miss Swift, excuse me. But what did you guys think of their looks?
I'm so mad about Taylor. I feel like last year she knew she looked awesome last year with the teal and the purple shoes, and I feel like this year she was kind of trying to top it, but I feel like she did it like very similar. Like I feel like the shape of the skirt was the same. She did the bright colors again. I just would have liked to see her kind of change it up. I was honestly disappointed in her.
I like the silhouette and like the construction of the gown, like the two-piece set that's like really, really popular right now. I just would have changed the colors. I know that's like her thing as of lately, but I don't know, I liked everything but the colors.
I thought that this whole outfit for Taylor definitely went really well with the 1989 vibe, and everything was kind of like neon, bright, like bright lights type of thing. I didn't really go for Selena Gomez's gown though.
Yeah.
I love the jewelry on Taylor Swift, but Selena Gomez, Calvin Klein collection, I was just kind of disappointed. I expected her to be in so much more. Her hair and makeup was flawless, but she really wasn't looking that hot. It was a little prom.
Absolutely. Well, that's all for Runway Rundown. Now we're going to head over to our beauty reporter, Chloe, who has some Grammy makeup looks. What's up, Chloe?
The Grammys were filled with numerous amazing red carpet moments, but what really caught my attention was the makeup. Most of the makeup from the award show was a smoky eye with a muted nude lip, which is always a stunning combination. Pairing these two looks really creates a very polished look that goes well with the very fashionable dresses the girls were wearing. My favorite smoky look from the night was Selena Gomez. Now, there is no denying that Selena slays 24/7, but she was hardcore slaying the red carpet last night. Her bronze shimmery smoky eye was perfectly paired with a peachy nude lip. I'm sure it was very hard for many to keep their hands to themselves last night when she arrived. Many artists have paid tribute to the late David Bowie since his death on January 10th. His Ziggy Stardust persona was especially paid homage to by Lady Gaga. For me personally, this was one of my favorite looks from the evening. No one could pull off this look like Gaga did, and it really captured Gaga's artistic persona. And it was a great representation of Bowie's creativity as well. Along with these two looks, there were numerous that had me thinking I need to film a look from the Grammys. Until then, head over to my YouTube channel, Chloe Buck, and take a look at what I've been up to. Stay beautiful. Back to Kim.
Thanks, Chloe. When we come back, one of our reporters will break down one of the most anticipated albums.
You won't want to miss it. The Blurb will be right back.
Unless you're living under a rock or don't have Twitter, then you have no excuse to not know that Kanye dropped his album, Life of Pablo, this weekend. Our music reporter, Brandon, has a quick breakdown of the album.
Hello and welcome. I'm Brandon Wilkins, and I'll be giving you a few insights on what to expect from Kanye West's newest album, The Life of Pablo. When high-caliber artists like Kendrick Lamar or Drake releases a new project, the music world is shaken. When Kanye West drops a new album, the whole world shakes, for better or worse. And people do take notice. So 2 years worth of media speculation, and West's 7th studio album, The Life of Pablo, has finally arrived. There's a lot of information to process after listening to the 1-hour LP. So instead of hitting you guys with the full in-depth review, here's some brief takeaways to give you an idea of what to expect from the album. First, this is a collage of all of Kanye's works. Sonically, there's elements of every A album that, on this piece, from College Dropout to Yeezus. And second, the features really do shine. Rihanna, Kid Cudi, Chance the Rapper, Young Thug, and more show up to assist on this project. Even Frank Ocean comes out of hiding to help out. Third, this album was worth the wait. Now, this is coming from a Kanye fan, so there's definitely some bias, but I genuinely believe this album has huge potential. Where Yeezus was an uncompromising protesting music, The Life of Pablo is a musician's plea for acceptance. That's all I got for you guys now. Back to you guys.
Well, that's all the time we have this week. Be sure to keep up with all things entertainment by following us on Twitter and Instagram at TV2TheBlurb.
And if you want to see all of our past episodes, subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Blurb on TV2. Have a great night.